Well, hello, look who's drinking their damn water. How you guys doing? Hmm? What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So first of all, I wanted to say welcome to everybody for coming to the 30-day challenge, and I'm excited because it's going to be amazing. Second of all, you hear me, right? Okay. He thinks that's funny. Funny, really funny. I'm also wearing a form-fitting shirt, so I apologize in advance for that, but it was the only clean shirt I had in the car, and the other one was like a big moo-moo. So I wanted to first of all say, if you're new here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Go check us out on all of our platforms. Go check us out on Instagram at One Big Impact, the number one Big Impact, all one word. Then of course, go check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. And if you are looking for an online personal trainer, I do that, as well as online nutritional guidance, as well as online meal plans only. It kind of just depends on what route you're wanting to take, whether you're trying to train for your next race, or you're trying to build muscle, or you're just trying to get a kickstart for a vacation that you got coming up or something like that. No matter what your needs are, I can definitely help you on any aspect, on pretty much any platform. We can get it taken care of. And also, I am an in-person personal trainer in the local Phoenix area as well. So today's video is actually going to be, if this bird ever freaking shuts up, I'm gonna throw a rock at him. I'm gonna throw a freaking rock at him. He's driving me nuts. He didn't talk this whole time, but maybe you can't even hear it. That would be funny if you couldn't hear the bird, huh? It's really loud right here. But no, today's gonna be calories in versus calories out. Now, a lot of people cover that and kind of give you a basic understanding. They say, well, you gotta eat less calories, you gotta do blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna dive into a little bit more to help you understand exactly what that means, and maybe probably a couple things that you're actually doing wrong with your current regimen, because I hear so many mistakes all the time. So I'll help you hopefully get through a couple of those things, because if you're part of the 30-day challenge, fortunately, but unfortunately, I gave you a one-size-fits-all meal plan. Now, we know damn well, or I know damn well just as well as you do, that your body is going to be different than mine, and mine's going to be different than hers or his or anybody's. So you're going to have to keep that in mind, that whatever fits for one person may not fit for another person. Now, I will say, if you're eating a crappy diet full of processed foods and stuff like that, generally speaking, you're probably going to see some really good results off of just a basic meal plan by cleaning up your diet and stuff like that. So don't freak out. But to get a little bit further than that, and to understand how to get past plateaus and what actually calories mean versus what do I really need, or what calories are important, let's go into it a little bit more. So bear with me. Try to keep this under 10 minutes. Let's get started. The bird is driving me nuts. Okay? Just thought I'd let you know that again. Yeah, we can hear you. Just had to show you guys this view just in case I don't get a chance to get it in my video because of the people everywhere. Nice little lake I'm at, little lake park. Get outside and get active. Alright, let's go find a spot to talk about food and calories. Okay, so we finally found an area, just like calories and weight loss and things like that. Finding the perfect area in which to be able to video is kind of difficult, and I apologize if the wind is blowing now. So, calories in versus calories out is kind of an interesting thing, and many of our bodies are going to respond completely different. So, the first and most important thing that I want to say, beyond anything and everything else, is the fact that you need to understand what your caloric needs are. So for instance, if I gave you a 1500 meal plan, and different people are going to get different meal plans as far as like which meal plan. You may be getting a 1500 meal plan, you may be getting a 2000 meal plan. Depends on if you're a guy, a girl, when you messaged me or whatever your meal plan is going to be designed basically what I had with me at the time. If it was the laptop, if it was the computer, if it was my phone, because I have meal plans that are different on each platform. So depending on which one you got, you also need to understand your caloric needs. So my question to you is, how many calories a day do you need to be able to lose weight? Go ahead, I'll give you a second. Let's play the Jeopardy music. Okay, so I don't know. I have no idea. Unless I do the calculations myself, I have really no way of telling.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend there's not a train coming. What the hell? Never fails, man. Never freaking fails. What is that? Yeah. Let's just let it go by, okay? Ready? Let it go by. Do a little adventure for the day. Alright, yeah, that.
So I've told many of you before that you need to understand what your basal metabolic rate is, your BMR. So I'm going to link in the description below a BMR calculator. Now I'm going to err to a side of caution when understanding this rate. The basal metabolic rate is going to be how many calories you need in order to sustain life. Now, without doing an actual body scan or working with a trainer like myself to be able to understand exactly your caloric needs, whether it's carbohydrates versus fats versus proteins versus whatever, it's going to be kind of confusing. But it's going to be a really good way of getting a general outline of kind of where you need to be and then what you need to be as far as a deficit. Now, to understand a calorie deficit, it's pretty simple to understand. And I want to say that everybody understands it, but I'll be completely honest. I'm sure there's people out there, including myself a few years back, that did not understand it. So basically, the easiest way to understand the analogy is food is fuel, gas, okay? And you are a machine, like a car. And in order to be able to run that car, you're going to need gas. You're going to need to put the food in the fuel tank. But unfortunately, if you put too much or you add another tank on top of that, you're just going to keep going and going and going. But here's the thing. If you're filling and filling and filling on your gas tank, but you're never really still going, say you eat too many calories and then you sit down, and you eat too many calories and then you go to bed, or you eat too many calories and you're really not that active or whatever, unfortunately, you're spilling over your tank. Your tank is going to spill out and into your fat stores. So it's a very delicate process, but your BMR calculator may say one thing like 2,000 calories or whatever, and you may go to 1,800. And for some reason you're like, I'm not losing weight. I don't know what's going on. Well, there's things that you could do to put yourself in a further caloric deficit, whether it's through exercise, or you may need to reset your metabolic system. And there's lots of ways we can do that. Or you can say, hey, this isn't working, I don't know why. And you can work with me as far as your trainer or as far as like nutritional guidance and stuff like that, and I can help you understand it. Caution, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Meaning, if your caloric needs are 2,000 a day and I give you a meal plan at 1,600, I recommend that you start with the 2,000 per day, okay? And the reason I say that is because that's 2,000 calories in clean food compared to maybe 1,500 of sugar-laden foods and soft drinks, or just really not anything that was potentially timed out throughout the day. So if I give you a meal plan and you're doing 5 meals a day versus one meal when you got home and you were exhausted and it was like Hamburger Helper or something like that, you're going to see a lot better results. Now, another word of caution, as far as calories are concerned, you don't want to be
counting calories per se. You don't want to be chipping away at your calories constantly, because if you only have 2,000 and you have 100 pounds to lose, how far can you really potentially go? So there's a lot more things that you're going to have to put into play in order to be able to continue to lose weight, whether it's like timed earn days / cheat days, or if it's it could be fasting. It could be all kinds of different things that we could put in play. It could be resetting your system. It could be activating different types of hormones like leptin inside your stomach and stuff like that. All kinds of things that we can go through, but usually calories is going to be the last one that we mess with. You want to keep them as high as humanly possible. For instance, Stephanie, you guys know Stephanie Ruiz. She's my client. She's down, I believe, 37 pounds right now. Started at 155. She's down to like 129, 128 depends on the day. And she's actually in a caloric surplus, believe it or not. She's in a caloric surplus. She's eating about 1,400 calories. Her BMR is like 1,300. So I'm able to keep her higher. Her activity level is conducive to being able to be in a surplus and still be able to drop weight. Now, the reason that works is because, like, for instance, I'm not going to tell you what she's eating or whatever, because that's private information. But as far as understanding calories are not all created equal, okay? So you have calories from the 4 macronutrients. Yes, there's 4 macronutrients. You have carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and alcohol. Alcohol is a less known macronutrient. It's usually not included in like a healthy meal plan per se, but it's definitely one of those things that you need to factor in. And it is one of the higher calorie contents. It's 7 calories per gram. Fat's going to be 9 calories per gram. For those of you that are following a low carbohydrate regimen, a keto regimen, Atkins or anything like that, remember, when you're playing around with those fats and you go to eat, a pile of cheese at the end of the day, and you don't know why you're not losing weight, 1 ounce of cheese is 110 calories. If you eat 3 or 4 ounces of cheese, that's potentially like a half a day's worth of food. So you got to keep that in mind. And then you have 4 grams of carbs, or 4 calories per gram for carbs and protein. So I'm not going to lie to you, one of the single most difficult things that I've ever had to learn or understand about this is actually the food portion. As far as like this calories versus this, do my fats, my proteins, my carbs, my calories, in my surplus, my deficit, like, your body's going to be completely different. That's why working with somebody like myself, or really honing in and trying to figure out how your body responds to certain things, is extremely key and extremely important. Now, another thing that is really a big factor that a lot of people tend to ignore is you have 2 major fuel sources in your body, and one is going to be carbohydrates. That's going to be your preferred fuel source. As far as that's going to be glycogen, your sugars, your carbs like potatoes, candies, anything pretty much like that. Anything with sugar or carbs is going to be what your body uses like that. Now, if you don't have that and you're on Atkins or low carbohydrate or anything like that, obviously you're going to switch your preferred fuel source over to fat. Now, if you're eating that fat and not eating the carbohydrates, you have to make sure you're not eating the carbohydrates, because having 2 fuel sources, now think of it like this. We're going to go back to the car analogy. If you were to get a car, right? Say you got a carburetor. I know nobody has carburetors anymore, but say you got a carburetor, right? And you're flooding in gas from one side, and the engine's able to keep up. But then all of a sudden you flood it in from the other side. If you flood it in too fast, there's no possible way that you're going to be able to burn off all of that fuel, aka energy source, and unfortunately you're going to spill over again and just get overweight, because your body's not going to be able to process that much. Now, I will say, if you're like some crazy athlete or something like that, and you're burning through thousands of miles a day or whatever, boxer or something like that, maybe yes. But I would say 90% of anybody, including myself, when I prepare a meal plan for myself, I consider myself, as far as my caloric ranges and my fats, my proteins and stuff like that, I consider myself sedentary. Yes, I'm running 30 miles a week. I'm doing exercise 4 days a week, 7 days a week. I'm exercising right now, okay? And I'm outside running. And it doesn't matter. My body responds that way. That's how I have to create my meal plans. My meal plans are extremely closer too sedentary. Now, if you were like a hard gainer, then you probably wouldn't be in a weight loss challenge, first of all. But that would be like a naturally skinny person. Then they would have to eat in huge surpluses to be able to get any type of weight gain. So keep that in mind. Now let's just recap a couple things. I know I kind of blabbed, and I've been walking around this whole place trying to find a place to video, so I really sincerely apologize. But let's recap. Your BMR is your basal metabolic rate. You need to find out what that is first, okay? If this is all too much and too confusing, work with me. I offer nutritional guidance for $100 a month. I do take-as-you-go meal plans that are going to be in your caloric range, in your safe caloric range, okay? That would be the cheapest option. Then nutritional guidance, I'll probably start you on carbohydrates, and I'll move them around and move your fats up, your carbs down, and move everything around and stuff like that. And I do the work. You set it and forget it, and I just tell you what to do. Or you could do personal training with nutritional guidance. It's up to you, just so you know. But in the scheme of things, you got your basal metabolic rate, okay? Your basal metabolic rate, say it's 2,000 calories a day. You're gonna have to probably start there. Start there and see what happens. You know, maybe you clean up your diet and stuff like that, you lose 10 pounds, cool. Drop it down, you know, maybe 80 calories or something like that, 250. And I can't give you too much information or whatever because this is my job. You know, I'm trying to give you some hints and stuff like that, but you're gonna have to learn your own body. And that's gonna have to be what works for you. Now, again, if one energy fuel source is high, carbs are high, fats are low. Fats are high, carbs are low. You can't have two in tandem. I'm going to try to go over here so I cannot get that wind. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry. But yeah, that'll work as I'm holding it up against a tree. And I'm trying to think of anything else that we need to cover. So get your calories right, meaning what that means. So for instance, say you got a meal plan and your BMR comes out to 2,000 calories, right? And your meal plan's 1,500. Okay, so you need to add in something. I would say like probably some proteins and some fats. Now, obviously, I'm not going to manipulate each individual meal plan because I gave you a meal plan. This is for you to do. This is about sustainability for you. So, you guys, if you're new here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you have questions, if you need me to clear something up, I apologize. I know I was all over the place, but I wanted to make our first video outdoors because it gets old seeing the same old stuff. So, wish me luck. If you want to see something in a future video that you would like me to talk about, please feel free to let me know. You guys be stronger than your excuses. 29 days left. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water, and have an amazing day. Bye. One thing real quick. Sorry, I forgot. If you, for some reason, are messing with your calories and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you notice that you're not losing weight, and you're dropping out your calories, say your BMR is like 2,000 or something, you get all the way down to 1,000 calories, you've completely destroyed your metabolic system over the years. And because you ate like crap and you weren't eating healthy foods and stuff like that, and you're gonna need a complete reset. So I would say the best thing that you could probably do is either contact me for some assistance or start doing some more research about how to rebuild that yourself. Because if you're at 1,000 calories and you're not losing weight, I don't recommend that you go super low. You should not be going insanely low on calorie content. You're going to end up with issues. You need to make sure that you're getting the proper amounts of protein for sustaining muscle, obviously for bones, obviously for your organs, obviously for your heart, all those things. And above all else, of course, if your doctor says to do something, follow his instructions. If your doctor doesn't believe in Atkins or low carb or keto or something like that, and you think it's good for you and you're not seeing any adverse side effects, talk to another physician, get another opinion, see what happens. But above all else, if you're taking medications and you're not a physician, do not alter your medications. Work with your doctor over that, because nothing in this world is more important than your health and you staying alive. Have a good day, guys.